district. So this 30-point flip should really scare Republicans and really start to take notice here that Democrats are not, it's not just Democrats voting for these people, it's independents and Republicans that are turning for these special elections. And like I just mentioned, Democrats have flipped 26 seats since the election in 2024.
Oh, that's gotta hurt!
It's one thing suffering a devastating 31-point swing in Texas. It's another when that devastating loss is compounded by the scathing indictment of a once trusted ally. The Rupert Murdoch-owned Wall Street Journal, one of the most establishment-aligned conservative outlets, utterly lambasted Donald Trump and his top aide's policies, that top aide being one of the worst people on earth, Stephen Miller, stating that they are clearly backfiring and hurting the Republican Party. This signaling the latest political disaster unfolding in real time for the Trump administration.
That's exactly right. Texas 9, because what happened in Texas 9, it didn't just swing to the left, it took a rocket ship to the left. My goodness gracious, the Texas 9 Senate District election marches. This was a district that Donald Trump won by 17 points in 2024. The Democratic candidate in the special election on Saturday, won it by 14 points. That's an over 30-point shift to the left.
As you know now, a Texas state Senate special election, a district that President Trump carried by 17 points in 2024, the GOP lost by 14 points to a Democrat, resulting in a shocking 31-point swing in barely over a year. Yeah, that's how bad of a job he's doing. While Trump tried to downplay the loss despite sending out a lengthy Truth Social post endorsing the GOP candidate.
We have some news right now. Trump is trying to run away from the fact that his choice candidate last night in a special Senate race in Texas lost, now claiming that he had, quote, nothing to do with it. He said, I'm not involved with it. That's a local race. I don't know anything about it. I had nothing to do with it. Only problem? He tweeted a bunch of times about it, urging his supporters to get out and vote for the Republican who lost. Here's the day of the election. Quote, today is the day. To all voters in Texas's 9th state Senate district, get out and vote for a phenomenal candidate, Leigh Wamsgans. She is a highly successful entrepreneur and an incredible supporter of our movement to make America great again. My very good friend needs a strong conservative in SD9 to keep Texas red. It's also not the only time he tweeted about this race, put out multiple times. And now he's saying he knows nothing about it, was involved with it. Why? Well, because a Democrat flipped the seat. The first time a Democrat won in Tarrant County in almost 50 years. It's not a place Democrats typically win. And while the president, he's running from his prior endorsements. Spread the word. The internet is forever.
The loss has rocked conservative airways, seeing as we are talking about, the kind of territory that Republicans had always assumed was a safe bet.
Looking at Texas, though, I mean, that should scare Republicans. That was the point that Ron DeSantis made in a post. That seat, that state Senate seat, flipped. It was a district that the president won by 17 points, and the Republican had outspent the Democrat there 20-1. And still, the Democrat took that seat. Ron DeSantis wrote, special elections are quirky, not necessarily projectable regarding a general election. That said, a swing of this magnitude is not something that can be dismissed. Republicans should be clear-eyed about the political environment heading into the midterms.
And the Wall Street Journal editorial, they didn't shy away from explaining why they thought this loss happened. It tied this humiliation directly to voter backlash over the Trump administration's hardline immigration strategy, led, of course, by top aide Stephen Miller. In particular, they pointed to federal enforcement tactics that have sparked nationwide protests and outrage, an issue that Murdoch's other media outlet, Fox News, have been discussing also, considering the fact that polls taken from Fox's own viewers seem to share the same sentiment.
ICE efforts to deport illegal immigrants. If we ask folks out there, too aggressive, 59%, not aggressive enough, 17%, about right, 24%. That tracks with other polls that we've seen in recent days surrounding a lot of this video that obviously has come out, and there's all kinds of people weighing in on all sides.
Yeah, Brett, I think that's right. It does track with the other polls. And it suggests that while the administration is within its limits, its legal limits in this immigration crackdown and the dragnet that's going on, particularly out in Minnesota, it has hit its political limits. And the Republic's response to what it is seeing on its TV screens and reading about in publications and so forth suggests that people, they want the border closed, they want criminal illegals rounded up, but they see these scenes in the street, particularly the 2 killings in Minnesota, and they see, people who seem otherwise innocent, although they may be here illegally, rounded up. They don't like that. We have a compassionate people, and even illegal immigrants are not beyond the scope of that compassion. And I think the administration is being seen as having gone too far on this, and the polls certainly suggest that.
And this matters because, well, the Wall Street Journal, Fox News, they're not democratic echo chambers. I mean, they're flagship institutions of conservative commentary and often peddlers of the most deranged Trump propaganda.
And he is the best messenger than anybody else. And so I think that's going to start to resonate with people, because this is the time that they're going to start to see it in their tax returns next year, which is, just less than a month away.
They're talking about how they're working. He says, with the help of tariffs, we have cut the federal budget deficit by a staggering 27% in a single year. And even more incredibly, we have slashed our monthly trade deficit by an astonishing 77%, all with virtually no inflation, which everyone said could not be done. Now, Carl, we wait for a tariff decision from the Supreme Court. He does mention the court in this piece, too. It says he hopes they're paying attention, but he says for now, he's proving the haters wrong.
Yeah. Well, the problem is we need to go back to essentials. Olivia put her finger on it. He's making the same mistake Joe Biden made. Bidenomics is working. That piece in the Wall Street Journal is the economy is great. That's not what people feel. Last year, we lost 70,000 manufacturing jobs. We lost 145,000 blue-collar jobs. There's a great deck put out today by the Washington consultant and prognosticator Bruce Millman. Blue-collar consumer confidence is at a record low since 1976 when they began asking the question. The top 20% of the American population is responsible for 75% of the GDP.
The Wall Street Journal's editorial board has warned Trump that the Miller-driven immigration strategy is politically toxic, saying in effect that this is hurting Republicans' chances in crucial races and will be devastating for the midterms.
Okay, Katie, one thing that we should also see, Mark is right, the midterms right now look ugly unless the Republicans really get serious.
And are you feeling confident that Democrats could possibly win 4 out of the 5 redistricted seats in one Republican effort to redistrict?
Yes. The Republicans done effed up in Texas, and they know it. We knew it months ago. And it's because of a variety of reasons. First of all, they were never going to get 5 seats. But they created a scenario where they tried to take 5 seats away from Democrats, didn't think that we were going to respond. California responds decisively, and we will pick up 5 seats as a result of Prop 50 in California. And it remains to be seen what happens in Texas. I can guarantee you they won't win 5 seats. They're going to struggle to win 3 based on 2024 performance, let alone what we've seen literally over the last year. And let me congratulate Taylor Remmett, who ran an extraordinary campaign. It was a decisive victory. It was a shellacking for Republicans.
The editorial specifically pointed to a wave of controversial federal enforcement actions, including high-profile shootings of U.S. citizens by immigration agents in Minneapolis, and even more so, the administration's insistence on aggressive mass arrests and deportations. It's clear that these incidents are causing a seismic shift across the country politically, despite what the administration likes to have people believe. They continue to defend the tactics publicly and deny that it is having a massive effect. But in Texas, voters weren't just saying no to a candidate. They were saying no to a political movement and the strategy behind the candidate.
Taxpayer dollars should be used to address the affordability crisis here in the United States of America, which is very real. It's not a hoax. It's ongoing, by the way. Taxpayer dollars should not be used to brutalize or kill American citizens or to violently target law-abiding immigrant families. So there are a variety of reforms that need to be put into place that the American people are demanding. Your own poll has shown that everyday Americans have concluded that ICE has gone too far and that behavior needs to be reined in.
And it's not like this is just an isolated case either. We noticed similar swings at the end of last year in local elections across the country. But when one of the most trusted conservative editorial boards are openly urging course correction because a core policy is alienating swing voters, it means that the underlying GOP narrative isn't working. And in fact, it's failing. I mean, think about this. Immigration. It was long considered a winning issue for Republicans, but not anymore.
United States citizens, particularly those of color, live in fear. United States citizens are carrying papers to prove their citizenship. That's wrong.
And this will go down in history as a turning point for this. Greg Bovino wouldn't be leaving tomorrow if an innocent person wasn't killed. And the double standards that are being employed for how you have to behave versus how these agents have to behave is mind-boggling to me. Kyle Rittenhouse was a conservative hero, right? For walking into a protest, actually brandishing a weapon. But this guy who had a legal permit to carry and already had his gun removed, to some people, I guess, is some sort of instigator when he was actually going to help a woman who had been pushed down and tear-gassed by ICE.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.